In this video, I'll be talking about operators. I'll be discussing what operators are, going over arithmetic operators, and logical and relational operators. Operators are used to perform calculations and comparisons. Here's some examples. We have a less than operator, and we have a subtraction operator. Operators work on operands. Here we have an example. We have the plus operator, and it's operating on the operands A and B. Here's a listing of the arithmetic operators that are available within Go. We have addition, which is plus, subtraction as a minus, multiplication is a star, division is a forward slash, and remainder division is a percent symbol. You'll see on the right here, we have the operators and an equal sign. And what that does is it takes an existing variable, performs this operation, and reassigns the result to that variable. So you'll see that a lot in code, that you can use that to increment numbers or add some value to an existing variable. Let's take a look at how to use some operators. So for using arithmetic operators, here we're creating a variable named total, and we're just using 3 plus 3. So our operator here is plus, our operands are 3 and 3, and that'll be assigned to 6, and it'll be placed into the total variable. To use arithmetic assignment, here we're creating variable a, setting it to the value of 1. We're using plus equals with 3, and so that will take the existing a and add 3 to it, and then a will now be equal to 4. And that's the same as doing a equals a plus 3. So this is just a shortcut for doing that. We also have increment and decrement operators. So these are very common in loops. Here we have a variable I. And if we do plus plus, we're just going to be adding 1 to the I. And if we do minus minus, we're going to be subtracting 1 from the I. Whenever you're working with arithmetic operators, it's always going to be returning a number. So you're not going to get any errors or any strings back. You're always going to get a number that you're working with. Let's take a look at the relational operators. We have less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, and finally not equal to. Relational operators always return a Boolean. So whenever you're using, in this example, greater than and also equal to, you're always going to get either true or false back. So in this case, if A is bigger than B, because we're doing greater than, then that would be true. And if X was equal to Y, that would also be true. In the X is equal to Y case, if they're not equal, then you're going to get a false. And in the A greater than B, if A is, for example, 0 and B is 2, then you're going to get a false back on that one. Now we'll take a look at some logic operators. We have AND, which is 2 ampersands, OR, which is 2 bars. The bars are above the Enter key, below the backspace on most keyboards. And we also have NOT, which is an exclamation point, and that'll invert a value. So let's take a look at how to use those. So what you can do with the logic operators is combine true and false things. So in this example, we have, these would all be Booleans. So we have authorized and authenticated. So both of these need to be true because we're using 2 ampersands. So if both of those are true, then the return value will also be true. If either one of these is false, then the return value will be false. Here we're using OR with the 2 bars. So if we have red or blue, if either one of these is true, so if red is true and blue is false, we're still going to get a true back. And that's because we're using OR. So we only need one of these things, and there could be many. You can keep going with as many as you want. If any one of those is true, then you're going to get a true back. And with the exclamation point, you're going to invert whatever you have. So if heavy is true, once you apply the exclamation point, it's now going to be false. Let's recap. Operators operate on operands. Arithmetic operators enable calculations. Arithmetic assignment can calculate and assign to a variable in a single statement. Relational operators enable comparisons, and logic operators enable combinations and negation.